Get ready. Wednesday, May 7th is McHappy Day. $1 from every Big Mac, hot McCafe beverage, or Happy Meal will go to raising money for the Royal Inland Hospital's Operating Room Infant Care Center. All money raised in Kamloops on McHappy Day will go towards purchasing equipment for the Infant Care Center. In particular, a warming bed for cesarean deliveries providing radiant warmth for infants suffering heat loss. Please help, and don't miss McHappy Day, Wednesday, May 7th at all McDonald's locations in Kamloops.
Jesse Foster disappeared from Las Vegas in 2006, believed to have been sold into slavery.
Jesse's case was never investigated properly. At the beginning, it's more or less because, hey, Canadian girl goes to Las Vegas, prostitutes, gets caught, goes missing. Well, I guess she got what was coming to her.
And for the last 8 years, her mother, Glendine Grant, has had to cope without one of her daughters.
Well, as a mother, I want to cry every day and not do a thing. But as a mother of 4, not just of Jesse, as a mother of 4, I keep going, and I have grandchildren now, and I do anything and everything I can for Jesse.
Jesse was like any other kid, a high achiever in school and sports. According to her mom, she just got caught hanging with the wrong people, with offers to go on exotic trips. The trip to Vegas was her last out of Kamloops, and she hasn't been seen since.
This isn't a girl who anyone thought would take a wrong turn. This is one of the cases of human trafficking where the person was victimized completely.
Sadly, Jesse is one of thousands around the world who are exploited and used as sex slaves. Human trafficking and the business of buying and selling innocent victims for money generates close to $300,000 a year for predators in Canada, luring the victims first by treating them like princesses.
What they do is give them anything they want. They can have nice dinners, they're told they're very, very beautiful, and they lure them in to a point where there is a day when suddenly the predator says to them, "You owe me $4,000 and this is how you're going to pay the debt off."
As an MP, Joyce Smith has been a huge advocate against human trafficking, passing 2 bills in Parliament to help innocent victims, especially those being taken advantage of outside of Canada.
Bill C-310 reached the long arm of the Canadian law into other countries when Canadian citizens or residents of Canada go and trafficking in countries where, they don't have good judicial systems, they don't have good police forces. But with the second law now, we can bring those Canadians back and try them here in Canada.
It's 1 year ago Tuesday that 3 women in Cleveland were found after spending 10 years captive in the basement of Ariel Castro and used as sex slaves. Grant's still holding out hope that Jesse's still alive and one day will come back home. Jack Klassen, CFJC News.
She was just 21 years old. March 29, 2006, Jessie Foster vanished without a trace. The young and vibrant woman was lured, like so many others, by the bright lights of Las Vegas.
Jessie's brave, I'll tell you. What she probably has endured in order to not want someone she loves to become a victim also, I can't even begin to imagine.
For the past 8 years, Glendine Grant has spent every waking moment searching for her daughter, who she says was forced into the sex trade. She has become an advocate for missing and exploited women and is now taking her message to Ottawa.
The education part has to keep going. The education, the more people that know about it, the more people that learn about this through my speaking, through Joy speaking, through the laws changing, then the more ammunition possible victims have if they're ever going to be lured, recruited, or taken.
Glendine has been invited to speak before the House of Commons Standing Committee on Justice and Human Rights, appearing before the panel July 9th to address proposed changes to Canada's prostitution laws.
We don't want to have brothels in Kamloops or anywhere in Canada. We don't want to have pimps and traffickers claiming that this is their legal profession. I can't imagine something so horrific.
Last month, the federal government tabled legislation that would criminalize the purchase of sexual services. It comes in response to a December Supreme Court of Canada ruling striking down key sections of the nation's prostitution laws. The new bill would also focus more punishment on johns and pimps than on sex trade workers themselves.
The demand is there because the johns and the victims are trafficked because of the pimps and the traffickers. We have everything now working for us in this. People who want to do it can still do it. People who don't want to do it have a lot more help. It passed through a second reading. I'm like, okay.
Glendean says the changes represent Canada taking the lead in anti-human trafficking laws. She believes if successful, it will cut down on the demand for sex trade and in turn see fewer women forced into the industry. Jessie Foster is Canada's most well-known missing human trafficking victim. Glendean is honoured to speak in Ottawa because the issue is both a passion and a personal fight. She wants to stand up strong for her daughter and others to get the laws changed and ensure no other family suffers.
She's still missing, and we're still going to fight for her. Whether it's helping change laws, raising awareness, or talking to other families, I don't really mind what way. We're just going to not stop.